Today we're going to be looking at multiplying polynomials. To multiply polynomials, you're going to use the distributive property. When you're multiplying, you are going to multiply your coefficients and then add your exponents. So we're going to take this term on the outside of the parentheses and multiply it to everything on the inside. So -2 times -4 is a positive 8. And x to the third times x, we have 3 plus 1 is 4, so we get x to the fourth. Now do the same thing, multiply it to the second term in the parentheses. -2 times 8 is -16. X to the third times x to the fourth, 3 plus 4 is 7. So 16x to the seventh. Now let's look at the next one. We're going to multiply 2x to everything on the inside of the parentheses. So 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared, and then y to the third. Then multiply 2x to 4y. 2 times 4 is 8. X times y is just xy. Okay, this last one here, I want you to try by yourself. Once you are finished, come back and check your work. So, we have two sets of parentheses. So we're going to take the term that is attached to the parenthesis to multiply it into the parenthesis. So 6x gets multiplied into this first set of parentheses. So 6 times 2 is 12. X times x is x squared. And 6x times -3 is -18x. So that took care of this first parenthesis. Now we have the second one. So we're going to take -5 and multiply it in. -5 times 2x squared is -10x squared. -5 times 9x is a -45x. And -5 times -3, negative and a negative make a positive. 5 times 3 is 15. Now we are going to combine our like terms. So we have 12x squared and -10x squared. 12 minus 10 gives us 2. Keep the variable with the exponent the same. So 2x squared. And then we have -18x minus 45x. So -18 minus 45 is -63x, and bring down the plus 15. So that is when we have a monomial, one term, multiplying it into a polynomial. Now, when we are just multiplying polynomials, there's two methods we're going to look at. First one is the FOIL method, second would be the box. So the FOIL method uses first, outer, inner, last for multiplying. So the first, you're doing 3x times 2x, the very first terms. So 3x times 2x is 6x squared. So that's the first. Outer. 3x times 3. 3x times 3 is 9x. inner, your 2 inner, 2 times 5x, let me try that again. 5 times 2x gives you 10x, and then L for the last. So last 2 terms. 5 times 3 is 15. Now you add your like terms here. So we have 9x plus 10x. So that gives us 19x. Bring down everything else. So that is FOIL. Box method, we get the same result, but it's a little more organized. So you take your 2 factors and you put it above your box, and then on the side. So x minus 1, x goes on the top, then minus 1, or negative 1. And then your second one, we have x plus 2, so x, and then bring the sign plus 2. Now we're going to do the product for each box. So this box is connected to an x and an x. So x times x gives you x squared. For this box here, we have x times negative 1. That gives us a negative x. Then we have x times 2. So that gives us 2x. And negative 1 times 2 is a negative 2. Now we have like terms here. Our like terms are going to be in the diagonal here. So we rewrite x squared, then we combine. 2 minus 1 is a positive 1, so plus 1x, or just plus x, and minus 2. So we are going to get some practice for each method, and then you get to determine which method you like best to use. So these first 2 problems, we're going to use FOIL. So we're going to take x and multiply it by x. So x times x gives us x squared. Then we're going to take x and multiply it by negative 3. We get negative 3x. Then we're going to take 2 and multiply it by x. So we get plus 2x. And then 2 multiplied by negative 3, we get negative 6. Combine your like terms. So negative 3 plus 2 gives us a negative 1x, and bring down everything else. You could also have it as x squared minus x. You do not need that 1 there, just a placeholder. Okay, the next problem. We're using FOIL again. So take 4n times 3n. 4 times 3 is 12. N times n is n squared. 4n times 4, 16n. And we do negative 1 times 3n, so minus 3n. And negative 1 times 4, so minus 4. Combine your like terms. We have 16n minus 3n. 16 minus 3 gives you 13, and bring down everything else. So that is FOIL. Now let's look at a couple examples for the box method. So for the box method, you need to draw a box. So we have a 2 by 2, so we're going to draw a 2 by 2 box. So we have x plus 4, so x, and then a positive 4. X plus 3, so x, a positive 3. Now let's multiply. X times x gives you x squared. x times 4 is 4x. X times 3 is 3x. And then 4 times 3 is 12. So we get x squared. And then we have our like terms here. So 3x plus 4x. 4 plus 3 is 7. So plus 7x. And then you bring down your plus 12. Let's look at the next one here. We're doing box method again, so draw your box. It's a 2 by 2. So 5b minus 1, so 5b in the first and negative 1 in the second. And 3b in the first and positive 2 in the second. Now multiply. 5b times 3b is 15b squared. b times negative 1 is negative 3b. Let me say that again. 3b times negative 1 is negative 3b. Then 5b times 2 is 10b. And 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Combine your like terms. So we have 10b minus 3b. That gives us 7b. Bring down your negative 2 and your 15b squared. So there are there's 6 problems here. You can choose which method you want to use. So you can use any method here. I want you to pause the video, do the 6 problems, and then come back and check your work. I'm going to switch between using foil and box, but you can do whichever one you like. Okay, let's go in and check these problems. So this first one, I'm going to use foil. So I'm going to take 2n times 6n to get 12n squared. And then 2n times 1 plus 2n, and then 2 times 6n plus 12n, and then 2 times 1 is 2. Now combine your like terms. You have 2n plus 12n, that is 14n. Then bring down everything else. Okay, the next problem, I am going to do the box method. I'm going to draw my box. And then put 4n, and plus 1, 2n, plus 6. And now multiply. So 4n times 2n is 8n squared. 1 times 2n is 2n. 4n times 6 is 24n. And then 6 times 1 is 6. So combine our like terms. So 24 plus 2n gives us 26n plus 6. And then bring over 8n squared. Okay, the next one here. Let's do box method. I like the box. It helps organize it. So we have a 2 by 2. So x negative 3 and 6x negative 2. 6x times x is 6x squared. 6x times negative 3 is negative 18x. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. And negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6. So combine your like terms. So we have 6x squared, and then negative 18x minus 2x is negative 20x plus 6. Let's look at the next one. We have 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 3. This one I'm going to FOIL. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x. 3 times 2x is a positive 6x. And 3 times negative 3 is a negative 9. Combine your like terms. Negative 6x plus 9x. That is 0. So that just cancels out there. So bring down 4x squared minus 9. And it's okay if it cancels. It's a special product there that we will discuss later on. Okay, these last two, we have a 2 by a 3. So for 2 by 3s, I like to use a box. It helps me visualize it. So a 2 by 3. So split that down the middle and then split this one by 3 sections. So 4a and then 2, 6a squared, and negative a plus 2. Now multiply. 6 times 4 is 24. A times a squared is a to the third. 6 times 2 is 12, a squared. 4 times negative 1 is a negative 4. A times a is a squared. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2, a. 4 times 2 is 8, a, and 2 times 2 is 4. I forgot my positive sign there. Now, combine your like terms. We have an a squared and an a squared. So 12a squared minus 4a squared. So we have 24, a to the third. 12 minus 4 is a positive 8. And then we have negative 2a times 8a. So 8 minus 2 is 6. So plus 6a. And then plus 4. And there you go. Okay, the last problem here, again, I'm going to use the box because I have a trinomial there and it helps organize it. So 7k negative 3, k squared negative 2k plus 7. So multiply. 7k times k squared is 7k to the third. Negative 3 times k squared is negative 3k squared. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. K times k is k squared. Negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6, and then k. 7 times 7 is 49, k. And negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. Combine your like terms. So we have negative 3k squared, negative 14k squared. So we have 7k to the third. Negative 3 minus 14 is negative 17k squared. And then we have k's that we can combine. So 6 plus 49 is 55k. And then minus 21. So that is your lesson on multiplying polynomials. If you have any questions, please reach out.